Welcome to my October segment of A View into the Collection. This month I will share collection items that feature symbols for rain and water. Our monthly theme is Iani, which is the Charis word for blessings. As the city of Albuquerque wrapped up its week of the International Balloon Fiesta activities, our blue skies now look empty. In 2020, the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center announced the arrival of its very own hot air balloon and a partnership with Rainbow Riders Incorporated, the Southwest's premier hot air balloon company. Although the well-loved and well-attended Balloon Fiesta was canceled last year due to the global pandemic, Iani on the Horizon, as our balloon has been named, launched this year amongst a sea of world-class hot air balloons. You might be wondering why I am talking about a hot air balloon. Aside from the striking designs on Iani on the Horizon, I wish to note that the designs were created by a few of our brilliant and creative staff. And these designs, in addition to our logo, represent blessings of rain and water in the form of geometric and figurative symbols. In our logo, one sees the Avanu, or serpent, with its body a wave of feathers. The band near the bottom of the balloon's envelope represent a number of revered beliefs and values dear to our Pueblo people. What look like repetitive triangles are symbols and themes common and important to each of the 19 Pueblos. They include rain clouds, corn, strength, progress, continuance, blessings, and connections to the earth, the heavens, our ancestors, and to each other. Iani, or blessings, allow us to stop and think about what holds value in our lives. Many Pueblo people greet the day with prayer, and Pueblo artists approach their process of creating with intention and purpose expressed through prayer. Expressions of gratitude for the materials provided, a mind clear of negative thoughts, and petitions for general well-being. As this settling of the mind acts as a form of meditation, the artist begins the process of creating. As mentioned in my previous segment, the prominent use of corn in its many forms for either sustenance or to ask for continual sustenance brings me to our first piece. As shared in the September view into the collection, the depiction of corn on various art forms is translated in literal or figurative forms. And every time I walk the aisles in the collection's storage rooms, I see more works of art with some form of a corn plant worked into the design. Kevin Redstar formed this plate and etched the title underneath as Corn Maiden. Placed in the center is the Corn Maiden. She holds corn cobs in one hand and a bowl filled with cornmeal in the other. To her right stands a healthy corn stalk. Surrounding the Corn Maiden are a number of geometric designs representing rain clouds, storm clouds, the sun, and mountains. The beautiful array of feathers below the rim wrap the scene set by the talented artist Kevin Redstar. He is from the Crow tribe of Montana. Though he is not a Pueblo artist, it is clear that he was influenced by his time spent in Santa Fe at the Institute of American Indian Arts. Also, he was married to an artist from the Pueblo of Santa Clara. Kevin Redstar's plate captures the essence of the many blessings mentioned earlier. Perhaps a more literal take on the significance of corn and water to our Pueblo people is Seferina Ortiz's canteen. First, a canteen is used to carry water. The bulbous body of the canteen features a prominent corn plant with stylized rain and lightning. I love how she painted in the drops of rain. Rather than the usual fine line application, Seferina chose to place raindrops falling over both the corn plant and the two sculptural lizards. The Cochiti Pueblo potters are well known for their figurative clay pieces, most notably the storyteller figures. Seferina created quite a number of storyteller figures, as well as other clay figures, of which Cochiti potters are known. The other two clay pieces featuring the corn plant are both made by Jemez Pueblo potters. The small red seed jar is by Laura Gachupin, and I chose it for its beautifully crafted simplicity. The well-balanced ovals in which are painted a single corn plant leaning into the center next to a geometric design that represents a rainbow are highlighted within a beautifully burnished red slip. Laura Gachupin created this small seed jar and finds influence and support from her family of potters. She credits her grandmother, Persingula Gachupin, as her main mentor and teacher. The medium-sized jar with red, black, cream, and brown details was crafted by Bertha Gachupin, who is a cousin of Laura's. Both potters are influenced by their grandmother, Persingula. Bertha paints the corn plant on many of her pottery pieces as she is from the Corn Clan. Her jar combines many elements including a swirling rib design typical on melon jars, polished and unpolished slipped areas, geometric elements, and of course her prominent corn plants. I will never tire of the skill possessed by Pueblo potters. The view of Bertha's jar from any angle takes one's eyes onto another skillfully added detail, all of which are perfectly balanced from the rim to its narrow foot. Going back to the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center's hot air balloon, the large round logo on the body of the balloon's envelope is our very own logo. Our logo was designed by Isleta Pueblo potter Stella Teller. The Avanyu, or water serpent, is a powerful symbol for water, a precious resource for all desert-dwelling cultures. The word Avanyu is a Tewa word belonging to our pueblos to the north. One sees the undulating Avanyu on many works of art, and especially the pottery of the Santa Clara and San Ildefonso pueblos. On the following 4 pottery vessels, you will see how each potter interprets the water serpent in their individual artistic way. I will begin with the small red seed pot formed by Deborah Duwayne of Santa Clara Pueblo. On her seed pot, she applied a red slip, which she polished with flat river stones. The Avanyu was lightly etched into the top of the pot in a technique known as sgraffito, which is completed before the pottery is fired. The Avanyu is always depicted with a jagged arrow for a tongue to signify lightning. As its body undulates around the body of a pot, many times it is depicted with feathers, and in Deborah's piece, she embellished the design with the stair-step design and 3 round half-circle clusters. These represent blessed rain-giving rain clouds. Deborah married a well-known Hopi potter named Preston Duwayne. The tan bowl features 2 Avanyu serpents in a polished red slip over which are painted feathers in white and black. The potter is Vanji Tafoya of Jemez Pueblo. The use of the eagle feather on her vessels is Vanji's way to honor her part in the Eagle clan. She signs her work with her name and a single eagle feather. She draws inspiration and knowledge from her grandmother, who was from the Pueblo of San Ildefonso, and now she has passed her knowledge on to her daughters. Vanji's bowl is striking as the form and designs are symmetrical, and I love how she chose to keep the background the natural, unpolished, unslipped clay commonly used by Jemez potters. The only polished areas are the 2 Avanyu serpents, emphasizing the importance of their character as a bringer of rain and guardian of water. The black jar with a wide mouth and pie crust rim features a finely etched Avanyu just above the shoulder. The black jar showcases the clay artist's expert hand at polishing, as the surface she has created is smooth and shiny. No, that is not a layer of glaze applied to the surface. The spectacular shine is created by utilizing a flat river stone to burnish the exterior. This shiny canvas is then ready for her lightly etched in Avanyu figure. Barbara Gonzalez of San Ildefonso, Pueblo, calls herself a clay artist rather than a potter. Through experimentation, she found a way to create two-tone works. So if you look closely at the design area, you can see peaks of the sienna-colored clay. Surrounding the Evanyo are lightly etched fine lines representing rushing water, often seen in once dry arroyos, now flowing with a force after a heavy rainstorm. Barbara finishes off her jar with small pieces of inlaid turquoise and coral stones. Barbara is the great-granddaughter of famous potter Maria Martinez. It is clear that Barbara inherited the creative genes from her talented family. The last of the pottery pieces showcasing the Evanyo is by Lois Gutierrez and her husband, Derek de la Cruz, both of Santa Clara, Pueblo. Lois learned the art of pottery making from her mother, Petra Montoya Gutierrez. Her husband is key in helping Lois find and gather the clay used to form her unique vessel shapes and to paint her designs in a myriad of earthy colors. Lois shaped her jar with a short, sloping shoulder, upon which she carefully painted a curvy Evanyo. Between its mouth and tail, she painted a single corn plant surrounded by geometric rain designs, below which are what look like either corn cobs or cactus flowers. The rim flares out and is a finely polished red slip with 4 tiny dots painted evenly on the rim. Below the matte slip painted Evanyo is the lower part of the jar's body, which dips steeply to a narrow foot. The next small bowl was created by Lois's sister, Minnie V. Hill. I chose this bowl for its designs of geometric rain clouds and feather designs. Like her sister, she also utilizes many naturally occurring rocks and clays that offer colors in rust, olive green, and gray. The matte slip is carefully applied, as are her designs. The feather designs are evenly spaced, and the stair steps make an appearance in 2 of the medallions. The hook design around the rim looks similar to the undulating waves of the Evanyo and could represent the rush of water in a ditch or arroyo. Her mother, Petra, was from the Pueblo of Powaki, but married into the Santa Clara Pueblo. The last 2 jars I want to share with you are called water jars. Many times, one will hear them referred to by the Spanish name of olla. In addition to the water symbols painted on the exterior, they were made to hold and carry water, our most precious resource. The black over white jar was made by Rachel Aragon of Acoma, Pueblo. Her design choices reflect the revitalization of much earlier design work seen on pottery types known as Tularosa black on white wares from AD 1150 to 1300 in southern New Mexico. As in the other water jar, the body is decorated with an all-over design, which at first glance looks like a mishmash of elements thrown together. Upon closer inspection, one sees how the potter took time to divide the jar's exterior into design zones, filled in with specific design choices. On Rachel Aragon's water jar, her use of the old Tularosa black and white designs include the spiral with fine line hatch marks. This storm pattern is outlined with step designs, which also have the fine line hatch marks. The step design represents rain clouds, and the fine lines represent much needed rain. Our desert climate is hot, dry, and the addition of rain and rain cloud symbols on pottery is one way our Pueblo people honor and call for rain. Rachel was born in 1938 at the Pueblo of Acoma, where she learned the process of locating the Acoma clay and how to prepare it so she can form her clay into a variety of vessel forms. The other water jar was made by Diana Saraceno of Laguna, Pueblo, which is located near the Pueblo of Acoma. Due to this nearness in location, some of the older Acoma and Laguna pottery wares are tough to distinguish. They clearly inspired each other with their designs. On Diana's water jar, we see the similar all-over design elements, only hers includes the orange-red pigment with the black over a white slip. Again, the designs are divided into segments and include an array of swirls, triangles, step designs, and fine line hatch marks. There is a lot of play between negative space and the in-painted areas. Water jars usually have a concave bottom so that women can carry them on their head. The jar was purchased from Diana in 1987. Finally, the last work of art I want to share with you is by well-known artist Helen Hardin of Santa Clara, Pueblo. Her copper plate etching is titled Bountiful Mother. Though Helen started out as a painter, she quickly learned the etching printmaking process and found that her drafting skills suited this medium. Her early works evoke the influence of her mother, Pablita Velarde. However, where Helen truly shined was with her own creative take on geometric and stylized figures. Her Bountiful Mother is an imposing figure honoring our Corn Mother. She stands tall, wearing a beautiful tableta on her head with stylized corn and step designs. Her body is meticulously detailed with small kernels of corn in a beautiful blue-green color, and her feet are in traditional deer hide moccasins. Helen pressed the paper, so if you look carefully, you can see the outline of mountains behind her. Helen signed her work with her Tewa name, which translates to Little Standing Spruce. Always an intriguing and multifaceted individual, her work is concerned with the intellectual and physical struggle of her very existence. She expressed through her work the complexities of being a woman of Pueblo and Anglo descent and the dichotomy of a traditional versus contemporary artist. Her art is complex and beautiful and incredibly forward-thinking, yet rooted in tradition. I hope you enjoyed my segment about Iani or blessings. I feel blessed to have access to all of the remarkable artwork created by the hands and minds of our Pueblo artists. As always, it brings me joy to share them with you. I look forward to my next segment in November when we celebrate Native American Heritage Month. Join me for a look at a variety of more contemporary works of art by Pueblo, Hopi, and Navajo artists. My wish is to honor our Native American tribes here in the Southwest. So join us for another peek into our art collection. Thank you.